You're not driving, are you, Mr. Bowman?
Yes, ma'am. I drive for a living.
Okay, you
Just give
need
me a
to pull
second.
over while we have the hearing. Ms.
Which
Reese, are you driving?
I'm driving to work.
Yeah, no, you need to pull over.
But if I pull over, I'm gonna be late to work.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
there's a lot of documents that were sent in on direct payments and stuff, and Dora didn't have a chance to count all of it.
No, what you need to do when there's that many documents, you need to reset. Because what happens with the voluminous documents is the email takes like more than 20 minutes to go through. Or you make arrangements and have them pick it up at your office, so the other party is not gonna get all the documents for you to share the screen. They're just not gonna go through.
Yeah, so then we're gonna have to reset because we didn't have time to count all the money that's in there. Or
Yeah, that should have been done a long time ago, an hour and 15 minutes for, it's been my experience with these Zoom virtual hearings. It can be done, but the email never goes through right away. And so whose documents were they, Mr. Bowman's?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Bowman, what kind of documents were they?
There was just direct payments
Okay. And
towards
what,
the
yeah,
site.
what
is
kind of
that through
form were
Cash
they?
App?
Yeah,
Cash App and Venmo. I have the total amount. I don't know if you guys need to verify that you guys self. You guys say it
yeah,
might take a little.
well, that's what I was trying to figure out. That's why I wanted you all back here, Miss, on your,
Oh, okay. So yeah, she
hold on,
did.
Mr. Bowman.
I think I'm in the wrong.
No, I think you
No, you're
already,
here. Yeah, we have an agreed order
just
on that
wait,
other one, Your Honor.
Miss Campa, just wait. Mr. Balboa, just give me a second. Mr. Bowman, let me just explain to her. Miss Ruiz, apparently he had proof of direct payments, but because they have to go via an email, and if it's voluminous documents, it takes a while for them to go through. And so he says he has an amount, a total amount. However, I don't want to do that to you. You may want to look at all the receipts for direct payment, so you can look at them, have an idea as to whether you did get them, they were child support, maybe they weren't child support, but you have the you should have the opportunity to look at them. So they're not going through right away. It's taking a long time. So we can make arrangements so that you can get them via an email, not to mention that the Attorney General still hasn't gotten all of them. And so we need to come back, but you need to provide us with an email. Mr. Bowman, about how many documents are they?
Yes, ma'am. It should only be roughly around 7 to 8 documents, if that might be a little bit more. They're pretty much screenshots. They're pretty simple. I mean, you can just add them up if you have a calculator. You just go through it.
They haven't
put 'em
all
in.
gone through, Mr. Bowman, and we don't want to
Oh,
be.
they all haven't went through. Okay.
I don't know. Let me find out. Mr.
It-
Feist, how many
it-
did you, wait, Mr. Bowman, how many did you have total, Mr. Feist? If you did get them through, how many are you seeing, Mr. Feist?
Dora says that he sent one document with all the payments on it, but I'm trying to find out how many pages that one document was.
Yeah, it takes a long time. It's not something that it probably hasn't finished or completed going through. You're not able to open it.
What about my
No.
Venmo statements? Because
Right,
mine,
yeah. I'm sorry, what?
mine were sent to whatever he would send me.
What do you mean yours? Were you sending Venmo payments to him?
He was sending and I was sending too. So I had sent an email like a month ago.
I don't understand. Were you sending payments to Mr. Bowman?
Yeah, I would help him and he would help me out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, then if you're gonna want us to look at those, how many do you have, Miss Ruiz?
I send it through email. It's just screenshots and I just send whatever I had.
Okay, so about how many screenshots are there?
There's a lot.
Yeah, all right, why don't
Yeah,
we do
that's
this,
what takes the longest, Your Honor.
the screenshots?
Yeah, because you gotta open them and
Well, I know, that's why it shouldn't, we don't wait for that. We do not wait for that. We just make arrangements beforehand. So Mr. Bowman, they haven't completely been able to open yours, and then we still have her screenshots. So what I don't know is we're gonna have to figure out whether they are whether they completed going through. And so the only thing that I can suggest is that Mr. Bowman, Mr. Feist, how do you want to do it? In the event that you don't get them all, you're gonna have to somehow or other contact them and tell them to send them again before court. So what we're gonna do is reset this case, but prior to the time we come back, you all have to make arrangements to get them to the Office of the Attorney General by email. You can email them in. Now, you probably already did it, but you don't know whether they've all completed going through. So we can come back on,
yeah, we have all the direct payments.
we can come back,
Mr. Bowman's was just sent this morning though, so
okay. But do you have all of his already?
yes.
Okay, we're just lacking hers. We can come back on December the 12th, Miss Reese and Mr. Bowman. So Miss Reese, since yours take a little longer because they're screenshots, what I would suggest,
Even if I send
Yeah.
them a month ago.
you want, yeah, he just said that they haven't, you want
Hang
to,
on a second.
okay.
Yes, we have hers as well. We are.
Well, then we can
So
start.
we just need to go through them.
Well, then it is a reset if you're gonna go through them, but you've got to go through them with her and everything, I
Yeah.
think. And then Miss Ruiz, you need to provide him copies of what you're gonna be asking us to see so that he can see them ahead of time. And Mr. Bowman, you need to get them to her so that she can see them ahead of time. Because do you have any idea what he's trying to show us, Miss Ruiz? You have not seen them, right?
It's the Venmo and Cash App. Yeah, I see those. We can
You
see them.
already, so you already saw them.
Yeah, I've already
Okay.
seen them because when you send them to each other, it shows you when you received it and when they were sent.
All right, Mr. Bowman, have you seen all the snapshots that she's intending to use as evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
You have seen them? Okay, then we can do it one at a time, Mr. Feist. If you've said that you've gone over them. So let me do the agreed order first. We'll be right back with you, Mr. Bowman and Ms. Ruiz, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Feist, why don't we do this? You're gonna need to show your evidence, and I'm thinking that it's easier to go with his because he says it was only like 12 documents, unless there's an easier way that you can figure out, but seems like his are less. So you want to share them and see if she agrees to them?
Hang on a second, Your Honor. Doris,
Okay.
we have a temporary order on this case, and she's giving me the terms.
A temporary order for today or one in the past?
No, one in the past. On September 5th, we had a temporary order.
You know what? I'll get them. It's quicker. She's already taking too long. I'll get them and I'll read them into the record. Apparently, the agreement or disagreement or the hearing is for the retro, correct? So why don't we get started with the retro?
And the child support, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, what's easier for you to start questioning on the child support?
Yeah, I have the what they agreed on.
Okay, so it's a partial agreement then.
Yes.
Okay, well, why don't we start with the child support is agreed to?
The basically from the temporary order of September 5th of 2023, the parties agreed to the paternity being established with the surname being Bowman. Miss Ruiz is the managing conservator. Mr. Bowman is a possessory conservator, and the parties were in agreement that Ms. Ruiz is going to provide health insurance through another source. So the medical support will be set at 0 beginning December 1st of 2023. Dental support will be $6 beginning December 1st of 2023. So there's no retro medical support or dental support. And the parties have agreed to no non-disclosure. And
Was the
this
child
time,
support agreed to? Was the
no,
child?
Your Honor.
Okay. Then you may proceed.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time, state would call Mr. Bowman.
We need your video on and leave it on during the hearing.
Has to start video. Okay.
There you go.
Okay,
Are you
Mr.
driving? You're not driving, are you, Mr. Bowman?
Yes, ma'am. I drive for a living.
Okay, you
Just give
need
me
to
a second.
pull over while we have the hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may proceed, Mr. Feist.
Mr. Bowman, could you state your full name for the record?
Yes, sir. It's Jakeem Daquan Bowman.
And Mr. Bowman, where do you work?
Sir.
Where do
I
you work?
work for Landstar. Subcontract for Landstar.
And how much do you make?
Roughly anywhere from between $3,000 to $3,500 a month.
And using that calculation, the child support would be set at $519. Were you in agreement to that?
Yes, sir, I am.
And Mr. Bowman, did you provide any documentation?
Yes, I
That
sent over bank statements.
And are the bank statements a true indication of how much you get paid?
Yes, sir, there are.
So do you have any 1099s that show this information, Mr. Bowman?
No, sir, as if me starting this job this year, so it wouldn't be a 1099 available until next year.
And have you provided any tax information?
No, sir, I haven't filed taxes within almost 4 years now. And I try to get documentation of those tax returns. As far as like those 1099 forms, I haven't filed taxes in 4 years. So I don't have those tax return records, and I do not have those 1099 records for the past 3-4 years. As I try to contact the companies that I work for, they don't have them in their system anymore. When they send them out to the mailing address that I have, they no longer have that mail. Also, the actual physical document.
Okay, so this the $3,500 was a verbal statement of your average income. Is that correct?
No, sir, that's based off of my bank statements.
Let me just figure something out. Mr. Bowman, so you provided proof of wages through your bank records, right?
Correct.
All right, and Ms. Ruiz, based on his bank records, he was able to provide his some sort of documentation for his wages, and they calculated that the child support was set at $519. Were you in agreement with that amount?
No,
And Mr. Bowman, did you provide any other evidence regarding your wages other than your bank statements?
No, ma'am, just my bank statements. The
All right.
accounts that I had prior to that, where I was getting via direct deposit paid, are all closed accounts. I'm not able to access them due to
All
no
right.
money being in them, not making anything. So I cannot access those accounts.
All
It
right.
was everything is direct deposit for me.
All right, and so when you're by providing proof of your direct deposit,
Yes, ma'am.
deposits, how does Landstar pay you?
What? No. Well, actually, I work for my uncle. They pay him, and he gets a percentage. Then he pays me my percentage.
All right. And that direct deposit reflects all the wages that you get.
Yes, ma'am. That's what the bank statements I sent in.
Okay. They don't pay you cash in addition to what's deposited?
No, ma'am, they don't.
All right. And what does he deposit? Does he deposit an actual check? Your uncle?
No, ma'am. He sends payments through, I guess, through his bank account. We share the same bank, so it's through Zelle. So when Landstar pays us, it pays him, and then he pays me a percentage of what he gets paid. Since I'm the driver of his truck, I'm not the owner of his truck. I'm his employee,
Okay.
and we're
So
an
do you
employee of
all-
Landstar.
All right. And so do you always get an actual, is it the same amount all the time or it varies?
No, ma'am. It reflects on what I work for the week. It's not a salary job. It's not an hourly job. It solely depends on the market, if that makes any sense.
And Ms. Reese, he has provided some sort of proof for his wages. I know you're not in agreement, but did you provide any evidence to dispute how much he's earning?
No, I don't have evidence to his stuff.
Okay. And Mr. Feist, then how do you want to do it? I guess because there's no agreement, do you have the bank statements?
Yes, Your Honor, I do have the bank statements.
All right, would you like to start there? She is not in agreement, but she has no evidence, so let me look at what he brought. If it's easier that way for you, or how would you like to do it?
Can I send these to you, Your Honor?
Yeah,
It might be easier.
okay, that's fine, we could do it that way, and then I'll. Ms.
But you-
Reese, are you driving?
I'm driving to work.
Yeah, no, you need to pull over as well. I had him pull over, and so you are driving, you need to pull over.
But if I pull over, I'm gonna be late to work.
Do you need us to give you a reset? Because this is gonna take a while. This is gonna take about another hour before we get all these documents in. But you need to pull over.
The thing is, we've been coming every month and I can't keep requesting days off.
No, well, I'm here, we're ready, but you do need to pull over. Once you get to work, were you gonna be able to continue on a hearing?
I mean, I can continue it, yeah.
Well, you can't be driving. That's all I can tell you. You can drive anytime before we get to your case, like if we're on somebody else's case. But once we start the questioning and answering, maybe you should have just made arrangements, but before we start the question and answer, you could be driving because it's not relevant to you, but I need you to pull over and not be driving while because you're gonna have to look at documents. You
I
can't.
mean,
be doing that
my
while you're
shift starts
driving.
at 10:45. I can come back at 10:45.
Mr. Bowman, will you be able to come back at 10:45?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we're ready now, Ms. Ruiz, so, Mr. Feist, just, if you're gonna send them to my email?
Yes, Judge, can I get
Yeah.
which email you want? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead and send them to, Belinda.Mendes.
Okay, I'll send them to that one.
That one.
I think I have it.
Leave your video camera on, Ms. Ruiz. These are just the rules we have to follow. I asked him to leave it on, so you need to leave your camera on. And you need to pull over.
Do I need to just reset it because I can't even stop driving?
Yeah, Mr. Bowman, if you can't come back at 10:45, can you come back on another day?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
All right. Ms. Reese, what you'll have to do is obviously make arrangements and just have the day off, I guess, but I'll let you decide. We can get it in before the year is over.
That's fine.
Mr. Whitworth, Mr. Feist, do the numbers look like in November?
I think it's
Oh,
December
wait a
12th.
minute, that's right, December,
Fifth.
December
Yeah.
5th. That'll be our last hearing for the year, Mr. Bowman and Ms. Reese, okay?
I have,
Okay.
I have court on the 5th.
Oh, wow. Okay. What was the file date, Mr. Feist?
April 3rd of 23.
All right, then, Mr. Bowman and Ms. Reese, we can come back on January the 9th, okay? January 9th.
Okay.
It'll be the same time, same Zoom code, okay?
Okay.
January the 9th.
Yes.
I thought earlier you were saying December the 12th.
Yeah, she has court. And so before I give it this setting, she has
On
a
the
court on
Oh,
December,
okay.
okay?
Oh, okay. I thought originally you were saying December the 12th, not.
No, he reminded me, that's a Maverick County docket. So, January the 9th, okay? Thank you to both of you. Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Docket,
Judge.
yes,
Judge, I'm going to send you some more too.
okay.
I sent you 4 of them, but we got 1,
Thank
2,
you
3,
very much,
10
Mr.
of 'em.
Bowman and Ms. Reese. Thank you.
Okay.